Welcome to the Zinczenko New Media Center. We're going to show you how to get up and running to do a very basic recording in here. So, the only thing you'll have to bring with you is an SD card. I recommend something, 64 gigs, something like that, but your standard SD card that you use in a digital camera. So, let's get started. When you come in, of course, most things will be off. There's a light switch over here which controls the overhead. So even though we have these theatrical lights in here, sometimes I find the fluorescents help out as well. All right, so first we're going to start by showing you how to turn all the equipment on. So first things first, we'll start with the camera. And we'll turn this on. Just flick that down, you'll see a red light, that'll turn on. The device up top, this is our monitor. A preview monitor, that is, and just press and hold the power button on the side. Press and hold, and that will turn on. Great. Now, moving over here to the table, we're going to start from left to right and go over all these devices here. First, we're going to turn on the audio mixer, a little switch in the back, and the phantom power light should be on, so make sure that that button is pressed and that light is on. Next, we have our audio delay. This helps match lip sync with audio and video. Next, we have our Ross video switcher, very colorful. I've already turned this on because it takes a few minutes to actually boot up. The power switch is right behind here by the power cord. And when it does fully come up, you want to press 111 on each row. And this monitor is pretty much always on. It has a standby mode. If for some reason it doesn't come on, there's a little power button right there in the bottom right-hand corner. So again, when you press 111 on those buttons there for key, program, and preset, then you should see both the PV for preview and program. You should see the video that you're seeing out of the camera. Next, we have our actual video recorder, and if you think this looks identical to the device that is on top of the camera, you are correct. That's because this one we're actually using as the recorder. Okay, and on the side are the two SD card slots, which is where you will put your SD card. Now this one actually goes in pins up, so you can choose either slot you want. I'm going to use slot 1. Click it in there, and it will tell you that the card is ready. And when this device actually sees a video input source and it has an SD card that is good, you will see this red record light up. So when you're ready to record, you can just simply press that record button and it will start recording. But before we get to actually recording, it's important to note that this device records video from the video switcher and audio from the audio mixer. And over here in the bottom right corner, you'll see there's a little meter here, and this is your audio meter. If you don't see any audio on here, any meters moving, that means you do not have audio. So let's show you how to get audio and so you can record. Okay, so over here on the audio mixer, you'll see a couple of microphones here. We have our little lapel microphones, which you can clip on. And this little tube device here, this you can clip on to a belt or wherever else on the person. And we have 2 of those. Those are inputs 1 and 2. This third input is actually the microphone on the camcorder itself. That's the shotgun microphone. So depending on which microphones you want to use, move these cables out of the way here, you will simply turn up 1, 2, or 3. So lapel 1, lapel 2, or the shotgun microphone. The gains up here should be up at about 3 to 4 o'clock on the dial there. And then down here, you can just simply turn these up, and you'll see we already have we're starting to get audio levels here. You want to get nice strong audio levels so they're up in this range, around 0 or +3, or even bouncing into the yellow. That should be perfectly fine up there. If it's really low like this, you're going to get a low level of record level, and it's not going to sound very good. It might be a little noisier than you like. So you can always start off with starting around 12 o'clock, and again the master level should be around 12 o'clock as well. But again, simply turn this up as loud as you need to get a good solid record level. Okay, so moving back over here to the actual recorder, you will see now that there are audio levels bouncing up and down here. So that's great. That means we actually have audio going to the master recorder. So if we wanted to record, You simply press the record button and you will see the counter starting to go there. So it's actually recording, and we have the meters going here. So we have audio, we have video, everything's great. And when you're done recording, simply touch stop, and that's all there is to it, really. So we've covered talking about turning on the equipment, turning on the camera, getting signal over here, and recording onto here. Now we're going to talk about lighting. To operate the fixtures up here in the ceiling, you'll notice that there are 6 actual fixtures and there are 8 faders on here. So what's important to note is that they are sort of numbered, if you will, starting with the front right. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So starting with the front right closest to the screen, that is number 1, and they go clockwise around, and the numbers of the fixtures will increment. How does that translate to here? Well, I'm glad you asked. Each fixture has 2 faders. Fader 1, the first fader corresponds to the brightness, the actual brightness of that fixture. So whether you want it brighter or dimmer, you simply move the fader up or down. The second fader corresponds to focus. So if you want it to be more tightly focused, you move the fader up. If you want it to be a more broader, more of a wash type of light, then you simply pull it down. Now, since there are 2 faders for every fixture, faders 1 and 2 are for fixture 1. Faders 3 and 4 are for fixture 2. Faders 5 and 6 are for 3, and so on and so forth. So these first 8, these first 8 faders are for fixtures 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, and the way we get all 6 is we have this channel bank toggle feature. And you'll see as I hit the button over here, it goes from A to B. So bank A are fixtures 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then bank B is 5 and 6. And then 5, 6, 7, 8 over here, they don't do anything because we don't have fixtures that are connected to bank B, or 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now, another important thing to be aware of is this little flashing light up here by blackout. See, it's kind of a flickering light, so it gets your attention. That means that someone hit the blackout button. So you can do everything you want over here, but it's not going to do anything unless the blackout is turned off. So let's turn blackout off. And now we're seeing all of the lights on. So to give you an example, I'm going to move back here to bank A, and I'm going to adjust faders 1 and 2. So let's take a look at how the light will react if I change fader 1. Okay, so fader 1, I'm moving it down and up, so that's changing the brightness of that fixture. Now I'm changing fader 2, and you can see it gets tighter or wider in terms of its focus. And it also makes kind of an interesting sound. I don't know if you can hear that over this microphone, but you will definitely hear the motor in that fixture moving to change the focus. And that's how you operate the lighting system. The fixtures over here, these lights should typically be on when you're operating the system. If you want to turn off the fixtures when you leave the room, you can simply toggle each of these off, and it will turn off those lights. So in here, of course, when you come in, you'll want to hit all of those to make sure that those are on so you can actually operate the lights. So these lights on, blackout turned off, and adjust the faders in bank A and B as needed. If you have any further questions, just let us know. Hit us up at the Media Center in Memorial Hall, room 101. Have a great day.